If you're over 35, you might be making some of the biggest mistakes that are secretly sabotaging your health. Did you know that simple habits could be killing your body's natural defense systems, leaving you more vulnerable to disease and preventing you from living a long, vibrant life? Today, we're revealing the 5 common mistakes that are killing your health defense systems. From minor daily routines to overlooked lifestyle changes, these are things you can fix right now to boost your energy, mood, and overall well-being. Stick around and discover how to stop sabotaging your body and start living a healthier, longer life. Before we get into it, let's quickly go over the body's health defense systems. Dr. Lee identifies 5 key health defense systems. First is angiogenesis, the process our bodies use to grow and maintain blood vessels. Second is stem cell regeneration, which produces new cells to replenish and repair the organs that angiogenesis nourishes. Third is the microbiome, a term for the beneficial bacteria in our gut that interact with our cells and organs. Fourth is DNA protection, our internal bodyguard hardwired to defend against damage and maintain our health. Finally, there's immunity, our body's sophisticated system for protecting against harmful diseases. These 5 systems work together to keep us healthy and resilient. Now that we understand the body's health defense systems, let's dive into the mistakes you might be making every day without even realizing their impact on your health. The first mistake is making poor diet choices.
In fact, is really one of the most powerful healthcare interventions that we can do for ourselves.
At the crux of Dr. Lee's entire research is how you can use your diet to heal your body. This means that the foods you consume play a very huge role in whether or not your defense systems are healthy. You've probably heard the saying, "You are what you eat." While this doesn't mean that you become a pineapple if you eat one, it infers that your body nourishes itself using whatever nutrients are available in the pineapple. Therefore, eating well is fundamental to maintaining good health. Additionally, it's important to note that poor eating habits or diet choices can significantly decrease your body's ability to fight off illness and diseases. In fact, research states that people with poor diets are more likely to fall sick and take longer to recover, whereas those with healthier diets have been found to possess really strong immune systems, which allows them to easily ward off illnesses. Plus, it's not just about eating healthy. It's also about making sure to incorporate a variety of foods in your meals to ensure you're getting the full package of necessary vitamins and minerals. So, less sugar and processed foods significantly damage your body's health defense systems and can increase your risk of diseases like cancer, heart disease, obesity, and so much more. The second common mistake is not managing stress.
Been living such stressful lives for the last year. Our mood really matters as well.
Chronic stress is what you might call a silent killer. It's solely responsible for illnesses such as insomnia, anxiety, muscle pain, and even a weakened immune system. How so? Well, it all boils down to the science behind stress. When you experience stress, your body releases a hormone called cortisol to help you cope. The hormone is released as a result of your body's fight or flight response kicking in. It might be a good thing in the beginning, but in the long run, it does a lot more harm than good. Granted, short bursts of cortisol can be helpful in immediate stressful situations. When you're stressed for a lengthier period, your cortisol levels are elevated, which would then begin to weaken the immune system. Why? Because cortisol works to suppress protective cells like white blood cells, which are crucial aspects of the body's defense against infections and illnesses. So, what are the consequences? Well, a weakened immune system is all you need to know, because once your body's resistance to diseases diminishes, it makes you very susceptible to infections and illnesses. Unfortunately, these diseases can range from the common cold to more serious conditions like heart disease, arthritis, and even asthma. Additionally, chronic stress slows down the body's ability to heal wounds, meaning that recovery times from injuries or surgeries can take longer. There isn't an out-the-book solution to end chronic stress. However, some practical ways can help you manage stress, thereby protecting your immune system. The first one is practices such as meditation, which could help bring awareness to the present moment and reduce stress levels. Plus, you can take up regular physical activities, such as walking, as they help boost endorphins, which in turn lowers cortisol. And if walking isn't your strong suit, Perhaps perform regular deep breathing exercises, as they can also activate the body's relaxation response. Finally, since stress is your body's reaction to certain occurrences, it'll help a lot if you maintain strong social connections that offer emotional support, as this can help you reduce feelings of isolation. Before we move on, if you would like more tips like this, make sure that you subscribe to our QuickTime newsletter for exclusive health insights and recipes delivered straight to your inbox. The third common mistake is not getting enough sleep.
Sleep. I want you to check out this TED Talk that was given about sleep and how it boosts your body's health defense systems.
Many of us have fallen into unhealthy routines of sleeping after midnight and waking as early as 6 a.m. While it might seem like the only repercussion you face is a little grogginess, what's actually happening on the inside is a lot worse than that. You might not know this, but sleep is the body's natural repair cycle. It's what you could call a nightly reboot, where your cells get to regenerate, tissues heal, and the immune system gears up to protect us from illnesses. So, when sleep is constantly getting cut short, or when you're not getting as much sleep as you should, this important process is threatened. In essence, sleep deprivation doesn't just make us groggy, it can weaken our body's ability to fend off infections and repair daily damage. But how does this happen? One of the primary ways sleep deprivation works to threaten your health defense systems is by hampering the immune system. When you're in deep sleep, the body produces and releases something called cytokines, proteins that target infection and inflammation. So what happens when you're not getting as much sleep? Well, fewer cytokines are produced, making it harder for the immune system to respond to threats like viruses or injuries. You've probably noticed that people who don't sleep regularly fall ill more often and take longer to recover. This is the science behind that. Unfortunately, the consequences of poor sleep don't end there. Chronic sleep deprivation has been linked to a higher risk of infections, cardiovascular diseases, and metabolic disorders like diabetes. In addition, it's also a main contributor to persistent inflammation, a hidden driver of many chronic conditions, including arthritis and even cancer. In essence, what happens is that when you don't get enough sleep, your body's defense systems begin to wear thin, leaving it vulnerable to both short-term illnesses and long-term health challenges. The simple way to combat this is to practice good sleeping habits. But if you've ever suffered from insomnia, or even if you have a nightmare that wakes you up, you'd know that getting a good night's rest isn't as easy for so many people. So what's the solution? Try to establish a regular sleep routine, as it will help regulate your body's internal clock. Think of it like sleep training little children. When they're used to a routine, they tend to fall asleep once the time for sleep rolls around. Some other helpful tips would be to try to avoid phones or computer screens an hour before bed. Studies have shown that the blue light they emit can interfere with melatonin production, which would make it harder for you to fall asleep. Finally, creating a comfortable environment could also help. You can turn the lights off to create a dark, quiet, and cool room that can significantly improve sleep quality, thereby helping your body restore itself properly night after night. The next mistake is not getting enough daily physical exercise.
I think it's very important to know that regular physical activity, movement, even for a half an hour a day, that can be exercising.
Being a couch potato isn't great for the couch, but it's also not great for you. While it might appear that inactivity means you're relaxing to reduce stress, if you overdo it, you might end up with health problems such as cardiovascular disease, high blood pressure, type 2 diabetes, anxiety and depression, and even some kinds of cancer. Why? Because lack of physical activities affects your circulation, the immune system, and all of your other body defenses. You might not know this, but physical activity is like oil to the gears of our body, keeping everything moving smoothly. What happens without it? First of all, your circulation slows down, it sort of lags, thereby reducing the flow of oxygen and nutrients to vital organs. In turn, this sluggishness causes your immune system to weaken because your body's natural defense mechanisms rely solely on a healthy flow of blood to transport immune cells where they're needed most. Dr. Lee says that the consequences of inactivity are far-reaching. Forget weight gain and, over time, obesity. Inactivity might cause additional strain on the heart, increasing your risk of cardiovascular diseases such as high blood pressure and heart attacks. But fear not. as there's some good news to help whip you back into shape. Moderate exercise can work wonders. So, by engaging in activities like walking, strength training, or even a daily jog, you can boost circulation, improve heart health, and strengthen the immune system. Just remember that the key to being healthy is consistency. The fifth mistake is the overconsumption of medications. You've probably heard from your doctors that overusing antibiotics and certain medications can affect you negatively in the long run. This happens because medicine, like antibiotics, throws the body's natural balance into chaos, especially in the gut. As we mentioned earlier, the microbiome is home to trillions of beneficial bacteria, and it plays a crucial role in maintaining a healthy immune system. So, when you use medication like antibiotics for longer than you should, or even more than the recommended doses, you're actually killing off some of the good bacteria that help protect you. What happens next is a disruption that weakens the immune system, making it harder for the body to fend off future infections. It might not sound serious, but the consequences of this are very critical. You could even possibly develop antibiotic resistance, which is a situation where bacteria evolve to withstand the drugs designed to kill them. The result? You're left vulnerable to incredibly hard-to-treat strains of bacteria. Plus, let's not even get into gut imbalances that can lead to digestive problems and inflammation, thereby weakening all of the body's defenses. All these sound terrifying, but we can actually protect our microbiome and immune system. How so? First, ensure that you only use antibiotics when necessary, and as prescribed by a doctor. If you have milder illnesses, look into using more natural remedies like food and herbal teas, as these are a safer alternative. Plus, you can also take probiotics or fermented foods after using antibiotics to help restore gut health. Now that we covered the 5 mistakes that you could be making with regards to your health defense systems, check our video in the series where we unveil 5 quick hacks that support your defense systems.